Well, hey, welcome. Wednesday night elements. Here comes Mr. Peterson in the door. I'm Nancy Peterson and um, Clark Peterson, my husband and I, we are Optavia coaches, and we've been coaching now for about 5 years. I lost 45 pounds 5 years ago. It took about 3.5 months and have kept it off all this time. And now we're in optimal health and moving closer to ultra health. That's what our goal is. And you want to share your?
Yeah. Hi, Jennifer. Um, Hi, I'm Clark, and I lost 70 pounds in 5 months, and that was 5 years ago, and I've kept it off since that time. Wavered, here and there, but back at that again, But I lost 70 pounds. I started out at 232, and I'm down to 170-ish in there. So trying to get those last few pounds off, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So we're here to share with you uh, the elements. So we're on every week, on every Wednesday. We will be posting all of these on our YouTube channel now, so that you can either share them with friends if you like, or like to rewatch it, or if you missed one, you could certainly pick it up. And so the YouTube channel is Nancy and Clark Peterson. That's all you have to look up. And you're going to see the individual elements listed there, and you can choose which one you want to listen to. Tonight, we're just finishing up element 15. We broke it into two parts because it was really so jam-packed. And we wanted to make sure we did it justice. We wanted to make sure that we really got to the heart of what the element was talking about, because learning the elements, and these are what Dr. Anderson wrote, um, are uh, are key to not only understanding new habits and instilling new habits, but it's key to really have a different mindset and education in what really does work, because there's a lot of information out there. I don't know about Clark, but I was a dieter my whole life, yo-yo dieter, and I think I did every program out there thinking they were all created equal.
Yeah, I wasn't a dieter. I was just an um, eater and a drinker, I guess. So that's what I was. I ate what I wanted to, when I wanted it to, and how I wanted to, and it showed up, at 55 with 232 pounds. When I was graduated from high school, we had 130, 39, 140 pounds. So quite a difference.
Yeah. So the element that we're talking about tonight is how to eat healthy for life. And that element, I'm glad we're spending 2 weeks to do it, because
Hmm.
we say there are a lot of ways you can lose weight, but the key is, can you keep it off? And so unless you learn how to eat healthy for life, you will always be fighting that battle. And I don't know about you, but I do not want to fight that battle. I want to feel like I'm already moving in that direction, that I'm not struggling. And I'm not saying we don't contend for our health. We do every day. However, we know the path, and we know how to walk the path. So even though we might drift off the path on occasion, most of the time we can stay on that path. It's comfortable, it's good, and it works. And we are experiencing best health, really the best health of our
Yeah,
lives.
yeah, I would guess.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So here's an interesting question: is, are you, or were you, maybe were you is a better phrase, were you polluting your body with empty calories from processed foods? I don't know about you, but I was.
Well, that's an interesting way to put it,
Mhm.
because we don't look at, it almost feels like an environmental thing, doesn't it?
Are you
Are you
polluting?
polluting? It really kind of sounds like that, but it's a great question. And because we didn't think so. I didn't think so. I thought I
Yeah.
was, here's what I thought, honestly, that I was feeding my body. That's what I thought I was doing. But what really was I doing, Nancy?
Yeah. So, yeah, you were polluting your body
Yeah,
like I was. Because here's the deal. Not all calories are created equal. If you really want best health, not all calories are created equal. So what are the culprits in all of this? The culprits in all of this really are mostly sugar and unhealthy fats. Okay, sugar and unhealthy fats. And what that's called is a non-nutritive agent. So when you're taking in a non-nutritive agent, basically what you're doing is you're polluting your body, polluting it. So sounds terrible, right? Like who likes to be in a polluted river or I mean, would you jump in the pool if it was polluted? I don't know about you, but I would. And we would even more so, do you really want to do that to your body? So here's an interesting thing. Of all the countries in the world, all of them, the US consumption of non-nutritive agents,
which is sugar.
sugars and
Yeah.
unhealthy fats, is higher than anywhere else in the world. Hey, Lisa. So, so, I mean, we're in the US. I mean, we are the land of abundance, right? And we are so fortunate because we have so much more than others. However, the habits that we're in really are creating an unhealthy environment. In fact, I just had a gal give me a call today. This is a gal, she's not on the program yet. So worried because she just came from the doctors and the doctor said, look, you are pre-diabetic, high blood pressure. And so she reached out to me and she said, I guess this is serious now. So hey, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
So I mean, sometimes that is the case and people want to do the program because of that health, that bad report at the doctor. But it's like, I want to tell everybody, let's do it. Let's get you on the program before you have that bad report from the doctor. So that would be all. So basically, when we talk about foods that pollute our body, again, we're talking about sugar and we're talking about unhealthy fats. Okay. And don't you know that most of the foods, when you're out there looking for something to eat, like when we've been to restaurants like this, it's basically fried foods and desserts, right? You get a lot of fried foods and desserts, and that makes up a huge amount of the typical American diet. And you know that sugar is like
staple.
It's like a staple, right? It's like a staple. So what happens is when you are eating fried foods and desserts and sugary things, what happens is you have less room for nutrient-rich foods, right? So this is a very interesting thing. If you have a life book, and you might want to make a note to look it up later, but if you have your life book, you can look it up now. But on page 310, I love it. They did a breakdown of the average American male and female. Okay. And what they did is they wrote, okay, the average male, if he takes in about 3,000 calories a day, half of it is fat calories. That's a lot. 1,500 fat calories.
And
okay.
we love
So, yeah, we love it.
Men love it.
That's all. So what that means is, okay, so they're left with, oh, and then not only fat calories. Okay, so about 1,500 fat calories and then 600 calories in sugar. Okay, so what that leaves you with, all right, is between 900 and 1,200 calories for the foods that have nutrition.
Come on in.
So think about that. You're taking in 3,000 calories, Almost half of it is fat, 600 sugar. So what do you have left? You're basically taking in 900 to 1200 calories of foods that are nutritious. Okay. That's what for a man. Now, for a woman, on average in the US, now this is just the average size, not how you're eating right now. Okay. This is how we used to eat. If you took in about 2000 calories, 800 to 1000 calories were fat, and 400 were sugar, which leaves you about 600 to 800 calories of nutritious food if you were doing about 2000 calories. So I don't know about you, but I had this thought pattern when I was thinking about getting in shape and I needed to lose some unwanted pounds, unhealthy pounds. I thought, well, I'll just go on a 1200 calorie diet or
That's my friend Karen.
1500 or whatever, right? But here's the challenge. I would think, well, this pack of cookies, this pack of cookies is only 200 calories. So that still gives me 1000, right? And then you think, and then right, and Jane's shaking her head, yes. So basically what you're doing is you're feeding yourself basically something that's polluting your body. You're not giving your body nutrition. You're giving your body fat and sugar. That's it. So I thought that was really super interesting because I think I was under that misconception for a lot of years that calories were all created equal. And calories are not all created equal. Does not do the same thing for your body, right? All right. So what happens when you eat like that? What is the result of when you eat like that? When you eat, half of your calories are fat, big chunk of your calories are sugar, and then you have some calories for your nutrition. What happens is you have a constant desire to eat because you are not feeding your body what it needs. It's why I had one client when she went on the program and she ate the fueling, she said, I can't figure out why I'm not that hungry. And look how little I'm eating. I'm like, because you're giving your body nutrition. If you ate the same calorie count and sugar, trust me, you would not feel the same. You wouldn't feel the same. Okay. So that's one thing. You get a constant desire to eat. You get more cravings. You start to carry excess weight. But this is the one that really bothered me. You're creating a habit of disease for your body. I want that to sink in. When you take in large amounts of fat, large amounts of sugar, and you're not giving your body the nutrition that it needs to function, you are creating a habit of disease. And I mean, I think when you're young, you kind of go, well, it's, I'm going to live forever and I'm going to be okay. But as I get older, I'm like, I want to be around when our little grandson, Karen, our little grandson's graduating college. And, I mean, you just want those things. You want to be healthy. You want to enjoy every moment that you have, right? So what's more important? Eating all that fat and sugar or enjoying this life? So anyway, but the whole thing of calories are not created equal was really huge for me. So the key, so what's the key? I mean, it's kind of like the big takeaway. Big takeaway is when you go off the fuelings, you have to remember the fuelings are providing perfectly nutritious, really nutritiously dense food for your body. Okay, you're giving it like the best it can get. It's really good because you're not only getting the fuelings with everything they offer, but you're getting a meal of good, whole, controlled food. I mean, there's not over too much fat in it. It's got the right protein. It's got the good fiber.
Perfect balance.
It's perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
It's perfectly balanced, right? So the key is when you stop doing the fuelings, and this is what we're talking about, how to eat healthy for life. Okay. Nutritious, rich food is kind of your focus. And I see that played out. I just spent the weekend in Arkansas and I was with my daughter, Marie. And it's so interesting to watch her because she loves to eat. She loves to eat. She's a little 4'11", does not have a weight problem, loves to eat, loves food, all that. But if you watch how she eats, she just wants to eat things that are nutritious. Like you do not see her going for a donut. But, she'll have a little bit of cheese and if she's going to eat a cracker, it's going to be like a whole grain cracker. I mean, you can see, but it's not like she's doing it to lose weight it's just she has that friendship and knowledge with nutritiously dense foods that she says, I'm going to put inside me stuff that's going to make me feel good. That's what she just does that because she knows it's good. It's not a sacrifice. It's not a, like we think of it, oh, I got to eat dinner. No, she's like, no, I'm going to enjoy this delicious, healthy food. And she does, she does. It's great. So here's the thing you need to know is, and we talked a little bit about it, when you're on Optavia phase 1, you basically are 100%, okay, 100% of your calories are high quality, nutrient packed, high quality, nutrient packed, low calorie meals and whole food. So you got the perfect thing, perfect balance there. So when you transition and you go out of the fuelings, you need to understand what those nutritionally packed foods are that are going to fuel your body well. Doesn't mean you don't have a piece of the birthday cake. Doesn't mean you don't go out to eat and have something that is special to you. But your normal is thinking, it's kind of like, you got to think like Marie thinks. You want to feed your body what's going to have it run the best way possible. It's we talked about it last week that if you put water, let's say sugar water, if you put soda pop in the gas tank of your car, what would happen?
It wouldn't run, and nothing, well, bad.
That's what happens when you don't put, oh, here we go. Yes, that's right.
Put in sugar pop in there.
There they are. Okay, sorry. I don't know what happened.
Sugar pop.
Yeah, if you put sugar pop in your gas tank, thanks. You're not going to go far. It's just the bottom line. You're not going to go far. It is exact same thing with your body, guys. You want your bodies to go far, you got to put in your high test fuel. That's all. That's all. And it tastes good. It tastes good. All right. So when you do that, what happens? One, your body's going to feel you are going to feel more satisfied, not only physically. When I eat right, even mentally, I feel better. I have a confidence. And physically too, in that when I eat something that is not the best thing, we've had this experience where like, oh, kill me now. I mean, you just feel terrible. It's like, why did I do that? Anyway, and right, you do. You get through your body's gotten used to eating well. All right. So has this happened? You eat something like some kind of big carb, and all of a sudden you feel like you're a balloon and you got blown up and you feel terrible. So, and think about it. That's how we used to always eat. And we didn't know how bad we felt until we felt good. That's how I feel now. I didn't know how bad I felt until I felt good. So, and it not, when you eat well like this, it not only makes you feel more satisfied, it also protects you from nutritional pollution. Okay, so you're keeping your body from the habit of disease, and it supports your optimal health. It keeps you towards your goal and at your goal, and it's like full circle.
But and I like to think of it, it's you're giving your body a chance. When you're not eating correctly, I'm not even giving my body a chance. I'm not even helping it do what it's supposed to do, and that is to keep me healthy and to fight off disease, to fight off sickness, keep me strong. And when I don't do that, then I am not allowing myself for my body to even have a chance.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you begin to add it back in your meals, one of the proteins that Dr. Anderson talks about, and I don't know if you like it, but I do, is legumes. I don't know if you guys like beans or not, soybeans, black beans. You like beans. They're so good for you.
Kidney beans.
They're so good for you. Jane already knows that. But they're so good for you because they're an amazing alternative source of protein versus animal meat. And what's recommended is really that you should have it once or twice a week instead of protein, not in addition, but instead of protein.
Oh,
Yeah. Ooh, Jane goes, ooh. So, and here's another thing to remember. You still need to do portion size. So when I was reviewing this for tonight, all I could think about was when I was growing up, my mom would make split pea soup. And I loved split pea soup, loved it. However, for dinner, this is what we would have: a big bowl of split pea soup with croutons. That's it. Look at she's like all excited. Knowing what we know now, split peas are great and split pea soup is great for you. But what it really should look like is a cup of split pea soup and a nice green salad to go with it. Okay, can you see and Jane's famous for being my healthy overeater. She likes to eat good things, but she likes to eat maybe the wrong proportions of them. So what you eat is just as important as how much you eat. And so we need to kind of get into that habit. So legumes. So why are they so great? Last week we talked a lot about glycemic index on foods. So when we start adding these foods in, what we need to be aware of is the glycemic index. In the beginning of chapter element 15, it has charts that show that. And you're going to be paying attention to that as we do transition, the second phase, right? But the great thing is legumes are really low glycemic. Okay, so that is great. They're really nutrient dense for the size. What you get, the nutrients are really high on the scale. Okay, they have loads of vitamins and minerals. They're an antioxidant, so they fight cancer, which is great. And it's recommended you eat them once or twice a week. Okay.
and their calories.
And their calories are
fairly low.
Yeah.
100 to 200 calories.
Yeah, for a half a cup. So it's wonderful. You could have probably a cup of them and enjoy it. And which would be more like a cup of split peas, and then have your salad with it. And that's kind of gives you a visual of it. Okay. All right. All right. Another step into phase 2. Another step. Well, and this could be phase 1 also, but it's about dining out. So I know, and I've got Jane is squinting her eyes, so I know dining out throws her into a tailspin. But I actually look at dining out as a challenge. Because here's the thing, you're the customer And they will, most restaurants, not all, but most restaurants will want to please you. And the whole thing with dining out is I want to enjoy whoever I'm with when I'm dining out. And I want to enjoy the fact that I don't have to do the dishes. Or you don't have to do the dishes.
I don't have to do.
So, so anyway, the focus, yes, we're of course going to enjoy the food, but you know, it's a social thing. So we also want to be really focusing in on enjoying these people, because if our health isn't good, if we're contributing to the habit of disease, then we won't be having as many dinners out going forward as we would if we take care of ourselves. So anyway, kind of a rule of thumb about dining out: avoid fast food. Yeah, and I bet you most of you do that. I never was a big fast food person, except many years ago when I was so poor, that's all I could afford.
It's not cost effective anymore.
No, it's not even cost effective for what you get.
No.
Right. So rule of thumb: avoid fast food. And I'm going to ask you a question. When you do go out to a restaurant, how do you make it the best for you? How do you make it the healthiest for you? Yes, Jay?
We always split whatever we get in half. And I really work it, like if we order a hamburger,
Yeah.
I'll take the top one off.
Oh,
And I try to, like just the meat with this. The other day I did, but we always do whatever we eat
okay.
with the top one off, and I kind of.
That's awesome.
So,
Yeah.
if there's those, potato fries or
Oh,
ones.
yeah, those healthy ones, those fried ones. So what Jane was sharing, did you all hear her? Probably not. Okay, so what Jane was sharing is when she goes out with her friend, they almost always split a meal. And you know what? That is like one of the best things to do, because whenever Clark and I order a full meal each, we're like, what? It's always too much. I mean, unless we really just want to take it home, right? Yeah. So Jennifer says, look at the menu and nutrition chart before you go. That is great. That is great too. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, just be a little proactive, and it's interesting to be able to look at that. I mean, almost always, there's very few places that you go. I did go to one place, the Waffle House in Arkansas. I'm like, why did we go to the Waffle House?
It's the
Anyway,
rich place.
it was a vegetable wraps. I looked on the menu. I was like, oh my God. And then I handed out my cards. But most places you can get a salad. Or even if you can't get a salad, most places you can order like 2 appetizers. That like shrimp cocktail, right? Or what else? Sometimes they have just even some like a vegetable assortment that you can think, or side salad with your shrimp. Ordering 2 appetizers, I think is kind of fun. If you can find 2 appetizers that will, make up your meal.
That's the hard thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes those appetizers are rich.
Yeah,
Not
you
really
have
very
to,
nutritional.
you have to
Yeah.
watch it. I mean,
Yeah.
not every restaurant's created equal,
Yeah.
and I like what Jennifer said about you can look ahead of time if you know where you're going, right? Split a meal. You said another one is if you order a full meal, ask for a doggy bag when the meal comes, and then split it, put it in a thing, put it to the side, because I don't know about you, but if you're sitting around talking, all of a sudden you realize you ate the 16-ounce ribeye. I mean, you're like, what happened? It's like really full. So, just be proactive. And these are just little habits that you can get into, right? So, and something else to keep in mind when you are away from the fuelings and you're still eating 6 times a day, and sometimes you do want to use the fuelings if you want to. Some people do, some people don't. We do just because when we're busy, like our Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays are really crazy and we're not home most of the day. So we just throw some fuelings in my purse and that way we're covered and we don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I'm starving and what do I do?
Make bad choices.
Yeah, and then you make bad choices, right? That's what always got me in trouble before. I'd get really hungry on the road and I'd be like, I can't get home. I'm starving and I don't want to sit down at a restaurant. And I would drive through fast food because I was so hungry and I had to go into a meeting or whatever. So fuelings do help in that way, keep you eating 6 times a day. So you may say, well, I still don't have a good idea of what building a healthy meal plan looks like once I'm off fuelings. What does that look like? Habits of Health book. If you don't have it, you might want to get it. If you have it, pages 276, there it is, 276 to 281, give you samples of what it looks like, guys. Okay, it just shows you. And the whole idea isn't to say, okay, now I got to follow this exactly. And I'm going to have like, for example, oh, okay, no, you got to have, strawberries and peaches and 3/4 cup of rolled oats and 1/2 cup of low fat milk. No, the whole idea is it's just giving you a sense of portion control and how they put things together. Okay, how they put things together. So, and then pages after that give you substitutes for fuelings. So you're going to have 3 meals a day. They're going to look smaller than what you're used to. Before, it was, 3 pieces of bacon, a couple of scrambled eggs, maybe 2 pieces of toast and some hash browns. Well, it's not going to look like that anymore, but it can look like,
Don't forget the toast.
oh yeah, and don't forget the toast. But it can look like, for example, we're doing this now. And so our breakfast this morning was we took 1 chicken sausage. I cut it up in little pieces, cooked it up in the pan, threw in 2 scrambled eggs and sprinkled a little bit of low fat cheddar cheese on it, kind of made it into like a little omelet. And we split that. And it was plenty because we ended up using fuelings in between and we just had a fueling a couple hours later, right? We never feel overstuffed. Uh-oh, we're bringing in. Okay, I'll take a look at these. She's got these. Can you see them? Are they tortillas? Oh, of course, tortillas. Let's see what's in them. Did you look at what's in them? Okay, the very first ingredient is wheat something. So if you're okay, so if it's a grain, okay, if it's a grain, you want to wait until phase 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're trying to get to your healthy weight, don't sabotage yourself. Yeah, we'll look more on that. Okay, all right. So I'm going to just read something to you that was very impactful for me. It says, you have, and please listen, you have a bulletproof system to help you eat healthy for life. And I don't mean just losing the weight, but when you're learning phase 2, which is what we're working on now, right? This is bulletproof. If you learn this, if you understand the importance of it. So it says, in the next element, we will discuss how to protect yourself from ultra refined sugars. Is that the one I was really going to read? I guess it is.
Yep.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Right now, you have a bulletproof system. It just is. If the program doesn't work for you, it's because you haven't worked the program. And if you lose weight on the program, but you haven't learned these elements, you're going to have a higher risk to gain weight. So learning this, knowledge is power, really, in your health, right? If you know that this, whatever it is you're going to eat is going to basically poison your body, you know that now, whereas you didn't know it before, you're most likely you're going to think twice before putting in it. Before polluting your body with something that's good, not good for you, you're going to think about it. And Dr. Anderson never says, you know, if it's your birthday and you want to have that cupcake and it's loaded with sugar, he doesn't ever say don't have that. He just says don't make that a habit. You know, having one little bit won't hurt you, but having that every day, that is polluting your body, and it does create the habit of disease. Yeah, we did this week. So questions, comments, did a light go on for you? It did for me. It did for me.
I think one of the key things I walked away with this is that just because it says calories doesn't mean they're good calories. And so I think that we really have to, I always have to remember when I talk to my clients that they go, so it's only 70 calories. Well, what type of calories are there? What's the source of those calories? And that's really what this really brought out to me again this time, that what source of calories are they? Because everything has a calorie, right? Everything. But some are good calories and some are not good calories. So
Yeah. And the thing to remember with the type of calories you're taking in, it isn't just that you take in the calories and you're done with it. When you take in the calories, your body reacts in a certain way. When you take in things that are not good, full of good nutrition for your body, you will be hungrier. You won't feel as well. And you're going to tend to you're going to crave things.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. You're going to crave food.
it will not be enough. Won't be
It won't be
satisfied.
enough.
Won't satisfy.
You'll be, yeah. So, and the more good things you feed into the body, the better you'll feel, and you won't have those cravings. It won't matter to you. It just won't matter. So, any comments, questions? You guys get all gold stars tonight.
Good job.
Good job. Good job. Oh, did I even record this? I hope I did.
I don't know. I would.
Oh, anyway, all right. All right. So just a reminder that we are on YouTube. We'll be putting this up this weekend. So if you want to share it with anybody, I mean, you can share it with anyone. Our heart is that people will get healthy. That is our heart. And if we can help them, we'd love to, because we do know we have a great system. But even if they're doing something else, if this gives them some kind of encouragement and information, we want them to be able to enjoy it too. So, all right, we're just going to wish you all a good night, and we'll see you next Wednesday. We'll be on. We're not sure if it's going to be us. We're going to try because we will be traveling, and we'll probably be coming from some hotel room. So see you then.
Somewhere in Nebraska.
Somewhere in Nebraska next week. So, eating at a healthy restaurant.
That's right.
I just want you to know. All right. You guys have a good night.